G'day, hi, and welcome. Okay, so I'm trapped inside because of the weather. Well, it stopped raining now anyway, but now it's too late in the day to go and do anything else. So I thought I'd make some videos. Just gonna stretch a bit, sitting on the ground here, and about playing your first gig. Playing your first gig is an experience you get to do once. And the first thing I'm going to tell you about it is you're probably going to bomb. I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's not going to go the way you think. It might not be that bad. You might not necessarily bomb, but it's not going to go 100% the way you think. In fact, your 100th gig is not going to go the way you think. Your 1,000th gig, if you play 1,000 gigs, that's pretty impressive. But no gig will ever go exactly 100% the way you think. Things are going to go unexpected. And that's just something that's part of the territory. You're going to probably play too fast. And you're going to run short. And you're going to do do-overs, if some of you. So just be aware of how fast you're playing. Because you tend to get hyped up, you tend to play fast. And so learn to take your time between songs. Calm everybody down because you're going to enjoy yourself. There's no doubt about that. But you're going to be hyped up. So you're going to play too fast. Most of the time you play too fast live anyway. And it takes a while to really get into the zone where you can time yourself out so that you know exactly, depending on how well practiced you are for your first gig, but that you know roughly how many songs you're going to play and stuff like that. But it's good to have a little bit of extra stuff to throw in there. Now, if you find yourself going too fast, work something out. If you're in a band, you can work something out with your drummer or your bass player or whatever. Say, okay, guys, we're cutting a little bit short. Let's drag this tune out. Get a tune that you can drag out a bit. Not ridiculous so that the audience loses. But let's say it's a 4-minute tune. Maybe you take that tune to 6 minutes. Or maybe it's a 6-minute tune and you take it to 8 minutes. You don't do too many like that, but, just to kind of fill in the time a bit. So do an extra bar or something. Do a medley, do something like that. You could drag it out a bit just so you don't overdo it. But if you start off with a set list that you've got down and you can maintain, the timing so that you're not playing too fast, that'll help you. The next thing is that you're going to have hecklers in the audience. Some are going to be good, some are not going to be so good. Don't worry about them. Most people aren't going to sit there and yell, "You suck," or anything. Some places they will, but most of the time, I think that's happened like once. And usually it was people I knew that were just joking around with me. So, whatever. People are going to come up to you and ask you to play songs you have no idea how to play. Don't be offended by it. Don't feel bad about it. That's going to happen. They're going to say, "Hey, do you know how to play this?" You say, "Oh, sorry." Well, don't try. Well, I kind of know it. Don't go off on that. Stick to your plan. Stick to what you got. Why? Because if you come off really half-assed, you destroyed your possibility of doing the second gig there. So just go with what you know. Say, just tell them, "I don't know it, sorry." And you're going to have drunk people there, and they go, "Well, do you know this one? Well, you know this one? You know this one? I don't know, but I got this one for you. Here, this one's for you." And then you just, interact with your audience. Always interact with your audience. Don't be over the top. Okay. But the thing is that you want to get the audience involved. Sing-alongs are going to happen in the first set, usually. Maybe by the end of the first set, maybe at best. So if you want people singing along in the first 3 songs, you might not get the crowd response you think. But just go with, if you are going to try that sing-along stuff, okay, pull it out as soon as you want, but just understand that the audiences may never respond the way you think. They're not going to be screaming and cheering like the Beatles. So it doesn't mean people are not enjoying themselves. That's the other thing. Just because you don't get a big response doesn't mean people aren't enjoying themselves. I've often sit there and listen to live music. I usually clap out, after every song just to because I'm a musician, I like to support other musicians. But there's a lot of times you'll be sitting there and people are talking. They're just, they're enjoying. Oh wow, that's really good. But they're just, they're talking to their friends or whatever. So yeah, interact with the audience, but if you're not getting a great response out of the audience, doesn't mean the audience is not enjoying themselves. The best thing is just play the best you can. Usually, the crowd gets rowdier as you go, depending on where you're playing. If you're playing a bar, anyway. The other one is tuning. Tune everything before you go on stage. Okay. If you have to leave the bar, take the guitars somewhere, go to the bathroom with them, go wherever you got to go where it's quiet, tune them up, tune up the bass. Don't do it on stage. Check it on stage, but don't do it on stage, because nobody hates anything more than people sitting there trying to tune their guitars for half an hour, whatever. So have that ready to go. Tune it before you go. Everybody should be in whatever the standard tuning. A lot of guys do drop tunings and stuff like that. I get that. But as long as you synchronize with the rest of the band, that every instrument is in tune before you get there. You may have to touch it up a little bit once you get there. But what you'll find is when you're trying to tune a guitar in a noisy bar, it's like almost impossible to tune because you just can't hear anything. So then when you plug it in the amp and you hear people no, 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 strings going up and down, it just noises the crap out of everybody. I mean, it's unavoidable to a degree where you have to do some tuning, retuning and whatever. That happens. Okay. People don't mind that, but if it's one of those things, if it's your first gig, a lot of times, people at their first gig, they're fairly new players too, so nip the tuning thing in the bud. The best thing for tuning is you can learn how to tune by ear. So that you can, get the bass player to give you an A string or whatever, or an E or whatever. I tend to go off the A because it seems to be the one that you can just hone in on the quickest, and then I'll just do the rest. If you can get those silent tuners, no problem. But what I would recommend with the electronic tuners, the tuners they have now are just fantastic. You got ones that just clip on the end of the headstock, and you basically, you turn the volume off, you're not annoying anybody, but use that tuner for everybody because not all tuners are calibrated exactly the same. Some of them are pretty close, but, so you use it, then you hand it to the guitar player, the other guitar player, the bass player, whoever. So everybody's tuned on the same tuner. It makes life so much easier. It's a great little tip. I learned that the hard way, where we had, two guitars and a bass player, and each one of us, okay, everybody, we're going into 440, but each tuner was just slightly out, so we were always just slightly out, and we'd have to retune again. And, of course, that would annoy the audience. It's like, okay, your tuner's broken? What? No, your tuner's broken? And then we tested it one day, and sure enough, it was the tuners. It wasn't us. Meanwhile, we were blaming each other. What, this is your first time playing guitar live? What the hell's the matter? Why is your guitar out of tune? You just used the tuner. What, you don't know how to use a tuner? Yeah, but it's true. Like, every tuner can be, so use one tuner for the entire band. That'll save you a lot of headaches right there. The other thing is, if you screw up in a song and you forget your place, don't stop. Just do something. Throw in a lick, throw in a whatever. Make it look like it's a part of the show. Just improvise. Learn how to improvise. One thing that's great for learning how to improvise is jam nights. Because you get on stage, you don't know who anybody is, and it's just like, okay, play. What are we playing? I don't know. You start, And you do like blues jams and stuff like that, jazz jams, whatever it might be. Nobody knows who's playing what, but if you're a little bit musically inclined, you'll understand what patterns they're playing, and you can throw around in there. But then when you break a string or something like that, when you do that kind of jamming, when you do play live for yourself or with a band, and something goes awry, like breaking a string, well then you can do something else. I've played live many times where I've broken a string and just kept playing, and even with Floyd Rose guitars like this, where the guitar goes completely out of tune on you. I just start playing one-liners on the string and pull the guitar into tune until the song's done. So it's a little different, but most people don't. Some people notice it. But I remember one night I had 2 strings hanging off my Les Paul. Not this is my SG, but my Les Paul. And when I stopped, I put down the guitar, and there was a guy at the edge of the stage. He goes, "You got 2 strings hanging off there." He says, "I never noticed." He says, "I just noticed that." He says, "When did you break them? Just now?" I said, "No." I said, "I broke them The band didn't even notice. Like, I ended up doing 2 songs with a 4-string guitar. I had to do the solos a different way. You know, it was like, and then I was like, guys, wait, I broke some strings. Oh, I said, yeah, that was like 2 songs ago. You guys wouldn't stop. They were ignoring me or something. But anyway, yeah, just keep playing through it. Just keep playing through it, especially if, you can compensate somewhere else. So don't freak out. Just do something different. Don't worry about it being 100% musically correct, as long as it covers the hole that would be there if you stop playing. Think about it like that. Jimi Hendrix had that kind of concept where to always have a flow going, that there were no holes in the song. So he could do a rhythm and then go and then back into the rhythm again, so that there was no hole. So the lead became the rhythm became the lead. So if he did bust a string, it didn't matter. He would just go somewhere else on the neck and whatever. Or for drummers, maybe you break a stick. You just, you got, as long as you don't break both sticks at the exact same time, you're good. But you still got your foot going. As long as you don't break the foot pedal, the ride pedal, or the hi-hat pedal, and both sticks at the exact same time, you can keep something going so that you can cover the hole that would be there if you were to stop. So don't stop, don't panic, and don't take it personal. That's the other thing. A lot of people, when the gig doesn't go the way they want, they take it personal, and then they stop and they get discouraged, and then they start screwing up more. You're there to have fun. Have fun. You're there to have fun. Don't stress out about it. Nervousness. I guess maybe I'll end up on this because I don't want to go too long on this video. You're going to be nervous your first gig, where the point where you're going to be grabbing the jack and you'll be like trying to, be extremely deliberate with your stuff. Grab it like that, put it into the guitar. Don't like finesse with it. Just grab it. The nervousness is one of those things you're just going to have to get used to. Use that nervousness for heightened awareness to play better. Don't worry about what can go wrong. That's what makes you nervous, is worrying about, oh my God, what if I break a string? Oh my God. Well, if you break a string, you'll have one less string on your guitar. So bring a spare guitar. If you don't have a spare guitar, well, bring a string winder. That's the other thing. Make sure you bring your string winder. If you don't know what a string winder is, I got one over there somewhere in the mess. They're invaluable. So bring a string winder, bring some spare strings. Make the show go on. The show must go on. Always remember that. The show must go on. Learn how to improvise. Relax. Enjoy yourself. You will be nervous. Just accept that you're a bit nervous. The person that's going to have the hardest time with the nervous is the person who has to sing, because it's going to show up in the voice a bit. So breathe a bit and just focus on what your job is and what you got to do, and then just enjoy yourself. And even if it bombs, well, the second gig bombs a little bit less. The 10th gig bombs maybe a little bit less than that. So it's a progress. Great place to start before you do a full gig is jam nights, because you're only up there for 3 songs, maybe 4 or 5 at the most. A lot of times, if it's a busy jam night, you'd be lucky if you get 2 songs in. So to be on stage nervous for 2 songs, okay, do that a couple of times with jam nights. Jam nights are a great way to step you to your first gig where you're playing a 3-hour night, whatever. But pace yourself. Don't try to show off too much, because by the end of the second set, you're going to be completely wiped out. And then you want to save that energy for that last set where you really give it at all. And then, yeah. So anyway, good luck to you. Enjoy yourselves. Just enjoy yourselves, enjoy yourselves, enjoy yourselves. And keep at it. Even if it doesn't go your way, don't take it personal. Do it again. Keep at it. And just do the best. Play the best you can play. Now, whether you're playing rock, blues, metals, classical, it doesn't matter. If people can't understand what you're going to play, what you're playing, they simply won't listen. So play, always, always, always play to the best of your ability. Yeah, that was advice that was given to me years ago. I'm still trying to follow it, but when you're out there, just enjoy yourself. All right, so anyway, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. share, and like. Be true to yourselves, be true to others. Always, always do the right thing. Have yourselves a great day, and rock on.